Oral questions. Question orale. L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
Cette semaine.
This week, a Fraser Institute report showed that Canadians are spending more on taxes than on housing, groceries, and clothing combined. And yet the government wants to raise taxes even further, at a time when housing prices have doubled and when groceries inflation is at its highest level in 40 years. Will the government freeze these tax hikes on paychecks, gas, heating, and food?
Secretary.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very pleased to reply to the new Conservative leader's question. But I'd like to start by saying that our thoughts are with Atlantic Canadians at a time when they are facing Hurricane Fiona. Now, this government is ready to help. And our message to people in the Atlantic area, be careful, we will stand by you, follow local authorities' guidelines.
We, as the official opposition, join the government in offering our thoughts and prayers for anyone affected by this crisis, and we offer our collaboration with the government to help in any way we can to serve people who are affected. This week, thank you. This week, the Fraser Institute published a report showing Canadians are spending more on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. Now, with 40-year highs in inflation, house prices having doubled, Canadians cannot afford to pay any more. Will the government cancel its planned tax increases on paychecks, gas, heat, and groceries?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, our hearts are with Atlantic Canadians today as Hurricane Fiona is about to make landfall. To those on the ground, stay safe, listen to first responders, and follow the advice of local authorities. I think I speak for all members of this House when I say our government will be here to support you with whatever resources or assistance that you require.
Right on. The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
With Canadians now spending more on taxes than on food, clothing and shelter combined, and with this coinciding with 40-year highs in inflation, 40-year highs in food price increases, with reports of students in Toronto forced to live in homeless shelters. The government's plan is to raise taxes on paychecks, on gas, on heat, and on other essentials. In fact, they want to triple the carbon tax. Now is not the time for a tax hike. Will the government cancel these planned tax increases?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, it is incredibly unfortunate that the leader of the Conservative Party has tried to tackle inflation and tackle affordability by giving investment advice on highly speculative assets. For those Canadians who did follow the advice of the Leader of the Opposition, I am truly sorry that you lost your life savings. But as long as he's giving that investment advice, I think Canadians should ask, if we can't trust him to be our stockbroker, why would we want him to be our Prime Minister?
That's right. L'Honourable Député Louis Saint-Laurent.
The Honourable Member for Louis Saint-Laurent. Well, Mr. Speaker, if there's something that everyone agrees on, it's that food is essential. But currently, unfortunately, inflation is directly affecting food with an 11% increase. We need to do something. For months, we, the Conservatives, have been asking the government to lower taxes, like all the other countries in the G7, but the government has refused to do so. At the very least, could the Liberals commit to not increasing taxes, as they are planning to do in the next few months? The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary. Mr. Speaker, I completely agree. Canadians need us right now. There is a great deal of economic uncertainty due to global inflation. We need to be there to support Canadians. And that is exactly why we are going to double the GST credit. Will the Conservatives support that measure, which will put money directly back into Canadians' pockets? The Honourable Member for Bellechasse-les-Échemins-Lévis. Happy Friday, Mr. Speaker. The riding I represent goes all the way from the St. Lawrence to the border. There is a large rural area there. And with the current high prices of gas, it's very hard for my constituents who need to get in the car to get to work, buy groceries, or access health care. This government could do something to help them. Cancel the planned tax hikes. Will this government have the courage to do so?